boys and girls. Welcome to Tween Yoga. My name is Miss Lisa. I'm here to guide you through some yoga poses today. As you can see, I am balancing a tissue box on my head. That is symbolic of our class today. Our class today is about balance. We are going to move through some standing balance poses. I also have an arm balance posture in. We are going to be relating the balance on the outside of our body, the outside world, to balance within. What's going on within ourselves, inside. Our body can easily get off balance with things that are going on in the outside world. Perhaps you are worrying about different things that are going on in our society today. I'd like you to try for this next session to let all those things go. We'll lighten our load. It's easier to balance if our load is lighter. We'll simply let a few things go and find that balance. Balance within as we find balance on the mat. There are a few props that you'll need today. One, something to sit upon. I'm sitting on a yoga mat. You can also use a blanket, a beach towel, a large towel. Maybe you're on a carpeted area or a rug. You just want to avoid being directly on the hard floor, tile floor. Something down to make it a little bit softer for you. And then you will need either a tissue box. We're actually not going to be balancing these on our head. We're going to use something that represents a yoga block. I'm assuming most of you don't have a yoga block at home, but there's a lot of things you could use. Tissue box. If you have a wipe container, that would work. A shoe would also work. So I'm going to ask you to take a moment. Perhaps you need to turn the video off. Go get one of these props. Come back to your area, your mat, your blanket, your towel. Turn the video back on, and we will get started. I'm assuming you are back. You can take your prop, your block, or your tissue box, whatever you have, and put it at the top of your mat. These are extras. I'll move these out of the way. Nice. Come to a seated posture if you're not there already. Seated in that crisscross pose. Hands rest above your knees. Nice tall spines. We'll draw the shoulders up, back, and down. I want to take a moment and focus on our breath. We are going to take what I call cookie breath. I want you to imagine the smell or the aroma of some freshly baked cookies, whatever your favorite kind is. Mine is chocolate chip. And just imagine you can smell. Maybe your eyes are closed. You can smell the cookies baking close by. Close your lips. Breathe in the smell of the cookies. Take the breath in your nose. Let the breath float down your throat and moving down towards your core. Let the breath sizzle there, maybe imagining the delicious cookies. And then slowly release the breath back up your throat and out of your nose. Your lips can remain closed the entire time. This breath is very calming for our body. Let us take a few cycles. Just again, imagine you're breathing in the aroma of those freshly baked cookies. And send the breath back out. 2 more rounds. Breath is meant to be slow and controlled. The idea for the breath is to use it as a transition from whatever you were doing before you turned on the video and began your yoga practice to now, the present. So letting go of what came before. Nice. Hopefully this breath has helped to calm you down. And we'll get set to move through a few warm-up poses. Meeting in a tabletop posture, all fours. Your knees are about hip width. Knees are under the hips. Elbows, wrists, and shoulders align. Just moving our spine. This is cow-cat. you've been to my classes previously, we've done this before. On an in-breath, let the belly drop as you gaze forward. Exhale, round the back, draw navel in towards your spine as you gaze towards your navel. Flow this a few times, moving the entire spine, preparing our body for our practice. Let's take one more round of cow-cat. From our flat tabletop, walk your hands about a handprint farther forward. Curl your toes under. Pick your knees up. If you let them hover there an inch or two from your mat, you'll feel a little engagement in your core. Then begin to straighten legs best you can as you reach your hips up and back. Perhaps a slight step closer to the back of your mat. Now your knees can be bent here. If you have tighter hamstrings, they will be bent. There's nothing wrong with that. If your hamstrings are not as tight, your legs will be straighter. Heels work towards the earth. You are gazing at the space between your feet. So let your head fall. Your body looks like an upside down V. And then go ahead, bend one knee, then the other a few times. Just waking up the lower body. We'll hold this down dog. Breathe in that scent of cookies. Exhale. One more breath in. Exhale. Look forward, look between your hands, step your feet forward. Both feet, big toes can come together. We'll come all the way up to mountain pose. Reaching your arms up towards the sky. Make sure you can see me. Maybe you cannot see my fingertips, but they're just reaching up towards the sky. This is mountain. Reach up high. These next few poses, as we string them together, they're called sun salutations. Think of warming up underneath the sun, letting the light of the sun glow within. Breathe in mountain. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees a lot. Hands come down towards the earth. You're looking towards the earth. Let the crown of your head face the earth. Just gently wave the upper body. Plant your hands. Step your feet back to a plank. Shading upper arms alongside the body. Lower all the way down. Keeping hands where they are. It says cobra. Picking up the chest, gazing forward. Lower back down, curl the toes under. Lift back up to downward facing dog. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale. One more breath. As you exhale, walk feet forward between your hands. Rise all the way up to mountain. And we'll flow through this again. Fold forward. Plant the palms. Step back to plank pose. Lower all the way down to your mat or towel. Shine the chest forward. This is cobra. Curl the toes under. Send the hips up and back, down dog. We'll take this one more time. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale. One more breath. Exhale, travel feet forward, come all the way up to mountain. Fold forward. Plant your hands, which means bending the knees. Set the feet long behind you. There's your plank. Lower all the way down. Cobra pose is next. Elbows point behind you. Lower chest back down. Curl toes under. Reach hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Nice. Walk your hands this time back to your feet. And then rise all the way up to mountain. Nice. And coming back to the center of the mat so you can see me. As I mentioned at the start of our practice, our poses today are all about balance. The first pose is chair. And in chair pose, you bend at the knees, sit back as if you were going to sit down on a chair. It's a lower chair.
keeping your knees over your ankles. So you want to avoid bringing the knees forward. Keep the knees over the ankles, and you can reach your arms forward. You can also draw your hands to your heart or open your arms like goalposts. So that's chair pose. Nice. From chair, come back up to mountain. We're going to build on chair pose. Extend your arms forward. Wrap the right arm under the left, and then bring either the backs of your hands together, or if you can reach the palms together. This is called eagle arms. And from here, we're going to lift our elbows, sit back on that chair. So elbows are lifted, so not here, but here. Nice. Now, from our chair, lift the right leg, bring it up over the left, and this is called eagle pose. Your right toes can wrap behind your calf. You could touch them down onto the mat like a kickstand, or they could dangle. You are squeezing these femur bones, the big bone in the upper leg, squeeze them together. Let the elbows lift, mighty eagle pose. And unwrap legs, unwrap arms. We'll try this on the other side. Arms extend. Wrap the left arm under. Now maybe the backs of your hands come together or the palms. Lifting the elbows. Sit back on your chair. Find your steady first. As you're ready, the left leg comes up and over. Again, the foot might dangle. Maybe the top of the foot comes behind the calf. Maybe your toes come down like a kickstand. Really squeeze. And if you fall out of the pose, that's not a big deal. You get back up and do it again. Squeeze. Nice. Unwrap legs. Unwrap arms. And draw your hands in. The next balance pose is one that you know. We've done this before if you've been in my classes before. If not, I'm sure you've seen it, tree pose. We'll practice tree one time and then we'll hook eagle onto tree. Let's stand on the right foot, bring the left leg up. The sole of the foot can be along the side of the shin. Again, the toes could be down, or you could draw the foot up to the inner thigh. Does not matter, none of those three options are better than the other, they're just options. And then your arms can draw out like a tree. You can bring your palms to touch. Your arms can extend, you could blow in the wind. There's your tree pose, standing up tall. Breathe in. Nice. And draw your hands back to your heart. Release foot down. We'll take it on the other side. We always want to take the poses on each side to keep that balance within. Now this time I have my leg a little lower. I'm just demoing a different option. And there's my arms like trees. If it's more comfortable for you to keep the hands at the heart, then you do that. Take whatever suits you. Nice. And there's your tree. One breath more. Draw your hands in and put down. Let us flow from eagle to tree. Arms extend. Right arm comes under. Eagle up your arms. Lift the elbows back on your chair. Pick the right leg up and over. There's your eagle pose. Hold. Moving to tree. Sole of foot works along the inner thigh or the shin. Arms come up. And there's your tree. Draw your hands in. Release the right foot down. Moving that on the other side. Sit back. Actually, I had you extend your arms first. I think it's a little easier to get in the pose that way. So there's the eagle arms. Then we sit back and lift that left leg up and over. Mighty eagle, squeeze those femur bones, draw the shoulders back, lift the elbows. Transitioning to our tree pose. Nice. Hands to heart center. And release the left foot down. The next balance pose is airplane. I'm going to turn and face so you can see my side body. Going to stand on the right leg. My arms float back like wings. Palms are down. Then I pick the left foot up. Now you decide. Maybe you're lifting the foot just a few inches. Maybe a little higher. Maybe your body comes almost like a capital T. So there's airplane. and down. And we'll take that on the other side. And there's your airplane. And bringing the foot down. Let's take all three. Eagle, tree, airplane. Ready? Send your arms, right arm under, eagle up the arms, sit back on your chair, right leg over. There's your eagle, hold for a breath. Tree is next, open to your tree. Wings, arms go to the back, extend the right leg long behind you. I'm actually against a wall here, I didn't plan that very well. Extending the right leg back. Bring the right foot back, hands to heart center. Taking it on the other side, arms come forward, left arm under, back on your chair, left leg up and over. There's mighty eagle. And tree is next. Arms back like wings as you find your way to airplane pose. Nice. The next pose is half moon. This is the pose where you will need your tissue box or your wipe container or your shoe, whatever you have. And this is just a little prop to make the earth come a little closer to you. I think I'm going to start with my front side facing you. So whichever direction you're facing, put the block towards the upper right corner. Nice. Then we'll reach our right hand down to the block. The right foot will stay planted and the right hand. And then bring that left foot up off of the earth and reach the left arm. The elbow reaches and then the hands reach up to the sky. And this is called half moon pose. Now from here you can add on, you can bend the top knee and reach your hand back, grasping the top of your foot, which will get you a nice quad stretch. Yeah, and then back to half moon and release back down. Nice. And we'll take it on the left and have you see the back side of my body so you can get a good view of both sides. So you're moving the block now obviously to the other side, the left side. The left hand is on the block or the tissue box or the water bottle or your wipe container. Left foot stays down, you pick the right leg up, and then I'm going to reach this right elbow. See how the elbow comes up first? And then I'm reaching the arm. And then to see the, it's actually called dancing half moon, where you bend that top leg and then reach the hand back for the top of your foot. Think of bringing your heel towards your glute. And then opening back, and then closing the hip as you bring the foot down. Nice. All right, we've got two more. The next one is called dancer pose. Let's come to a standing posture and reach your hands up. Extend the right arm out like a right angle and then pick that foot, the right foot. If you do this with the left foot first, it doesn't matter which side. And then you're going to reach your right hand back and grasp the foot. So do you see how I'm grasping my foot here? Nice. And then from here, think of kicking your foot into your hand into the foot. And then you're reaching the opposite arm forward, the left leg stays straight, and that's what we call dancer pose. Nice. And then we'll go ahead and try that on the other side. So arms reach up, the left arm makes a right angle, bend to the knees. So if your knees come wide, like mine are coming here, bring that left knee back in. It's easier if the knees are touching. Then reach back for the top of the foot. And staying right here requires balance. So maybe you stay right here. Maybe you hinge forward just a little bit. And then you decide how far forward you go, reaching that left arm as you dance your way into the pose. Yeah, then go ahead and come back. And that's dancer. One last pose. This is a challenging one, but it's always fun to have a challenging one. This is called funky headstand. We're going to come down onto our mats this time, and this is an arm balance. So again, working with that balance. I'm on a nice soft surface. There's carpet here, I'm on my mat. I've done these before when I'm first learning putting pillows around, if you want to do that. If you fall, I mean, it's not going to hurt, you're so close to the ground. And you probably will fall. I think I've mentioned before, most things are difficult before they're easy. And falling is all part of the process. So we don't want to give up when we fall. That I like to think that motivates us to want to work a little bit harder. So funky headstand, we're going to bring one arm, I'm going to take my left arm and bring it down on the mat. And then I'm going to bring my right hand even with the elbow. So do you see that, how the hand is even with the elbow? Nice. Now this tricep, so the tricep is the back of your upper arm, is where I'm going to put my knee. So my right knee is going to come up onto this right tricep. So arm is down, right hand is across from the elbow. I'm going to put my head down, and then I'm going to curl my toes under, almost like downward facing dog. And then I'm going to walk my feet in, I'm going to bring this right knee up onto the tricep. And then from here, I just pick that left foot up. And that's funky headstand. Let me show you again. So left arm, right hand is across from the elbow, top of your head comes down, curl your toes under, almost like downward facing dog. Walk in, and then your right knee is coming up onto the right tricep. And then you pick that opposite arm up, and the elbow, the back elbow, the left elbow also is lifting up. And that's funky headstand. Let me take it on this side so you can see it from this way. Opposite arm, opposite hand, head comes down. Now the left knee will come up onto the left tricep. Down dog, see how this left knee comes up, and then I pick that up, and that is your funky headstand. Yeah, you can work on lifting your legs up too if you like. I guess I should probably explain that. And again, this pose looks, well, not again, I didn't say this yet, but the poses look different for everyone, and the more times you practice it, the easier it becomes. So you've got to start somewhere. Opposite arm, hand, head. Walking feet forward, left knee on left tricep, and then the right leg comes up. And then perhaps you can work to extending that opposite leg. And then it'll come back down. Yeah, there you've got it. Funky headstand. My intent today was to show you some balance poses so you can have a little fun on your mat and bringing that balance to your body and carrying that into your balance within. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.